Hello and welcome back to the Women's Eye podcast. I'm Stacey Gualandi, your host. Thanks for joining me. Now, I love having fresh conversations with inspiring women doing extraordinary things. And today is no exception with my friend, the Nancy Glass, CEO, unscripted TV and podcast producer, investigative journalist. She does it all. Hello, Nancy.
Hello, this is embarrassing. Hi, it's so nice to see you. See, the fact that you don't age makes me feel like maybe I'm not aging so much.
You're not aging. No, neither one of us. We
No,
took whatever the TV liquid or something and tried
yeah,
to but it has been a
but
minute.
no fillers.
No, 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 that's the thing. Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah.
BravoCon.
Oh, oh
Let's
my
talk
God.
about
Yeah.
fillers. But
Yeah.
it has been a minute since our
I
last
know.
chat during the pandemic, and so much has changed within the entertainment landscape
Yeah.
and for you. And did you know you've been called a model of reinvention?
Oh, by who?
We found that somewhere. But we
Wow.
want to talk about all of that. But first, this episode is brought to you by Casco Financial Group. In Phoenix, Arizona, Casco president Catherine Scrivano started her business to help people create the financial strength to achieve their dreams. So it's a dream to have you here. Nancy Glass is a multiple Emmy Award winning writer, producer, journalist, and the force behind Glass Entertainment Group, which is a leading multi-platform media company that she formed 25 years ago after an
Wow.
equally long-running career on television, which is where we met, Inside Edition, American Journal. So let's dig deep today on how you, Nancy, reinvent yourself and what we can learn from you during these kind of challenging times. So officially welcome.
Thank you. I officially say I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, this is so
What
great.
do you
Now,
want
it's
to know,
funny.
Stacey? You got to get more specific with me because mostly my reinvention, it comes from the idea that I really have to earn a living.
Well, okay, but it's that adaptability,
Yeah.
but that somewhere in you, it's like, okay, there's like a wall, and then you're like, nope, I'm gonna go around it, or you're gonna figure a way to do it. But and also that you like to work too. I mean, that's the thing. You enjoy working.
I
So
do. I do. Well, I can tell you one reinvention story that has worked for us. So,
yes.
we're a very conventional production company. We're doing a lot of unscripted programming, working for everybody from CNN, where we did documentaries, to HGTV, to Animal Planet, everybody you can think of. Now we work for Netflix and Hulu. But there were some shows that I couldn't sell. And they were about, in particular, one was about a woman who was betrayed by her husband in the most horrible way. And I couldn't sell it. People kept saying, networks would say, nobody died. I'm like, you don't understand women.
Yeah.
We want to know about betrayals of the heart. We want to know, could it happen to us? How do we support other women? So I was like, let's start a podcast. Let's start a podcast company. So my two of my people in my business affairs office said, we'll do it with you. One of them is now the host. Her name is Andrea Gunning.
Gunning, she's
All this
great.
on our website, by the way, is Glass Entertainment Group. So you can see that. And so we started this podcast and then it just took off. We've now had 120 million listens, and that podcast has become a TV show, which
Yep.
airs on Hulu. So that was reinvention, but that was because our business is shrinking.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh, people need more entertainment. Actually, they're buying less. And they're buying from celebrities because celebrities have instant promotional ability.
Yeah.
People aren't buying commercials anymore. But if you do a show with Jennifer Lopez, she can get on any talk show and talk about her new TV show that she's
Yeah.
producing. So it's become a very complicated and tough business. They've shut down a lot of networks. They're called zombie networks, where you think they're still on the air, but they're just recycling old programming that was done a long time ago. So
And it's cheaper that way, obviously, probably, maybe, I
doesn't
don't
cost
know, but
anything. Yeah,
yeah.
because they're not producing anything. So you don't see There's no new Travel Channel programming or Animal Planet or Science Channel or I think maybe Sci-Fi is doing stuff, but I don't know. So it's become a much smaller business. So the idea of expanding into podcasting has really been great for us.
Well, and I'm gonna toot your horn a little bit too, because Betrayal got Best True Crime Pod Series or Podcast Series last year or this year.
Uh, it was this year, but I really, that is totally attributable to the team.
Yes.
Those two people who worked in business fairs, Ben Fetterman and Andrea Gunning, who really ran with it. They're spectacular.
Well, and I think it was a instinctually you all knew that this was a something good to do, and
Yeah.
it's personable and sharing too. But and I think too, since the last time we spoke, I think it says what 5,000 more minutes of programming of podcasts alone that you guys have done.
Done
So,
a lot of that. We also bought the IP for Let's Make a Deal.
oh, that's great. That's new, right? Or yeah,
That's new for us. It's been on the air for a ton of years,
yeah.
60 years. The host now is Wayne Brady. You want
Yes,
to know what he's
yes, of
really like?
course.
Can I tell you what he's really like?
Yeah.
He's amazing. I
He's
have
such a character.
never worked with anyone. I don't work with him directly because it's produced by Fremantle,
Yep,
but
yep.
he is so original. He ad libs the show. He's so nice to everybody. He's so smart. He's a very unusual on air person because most on air people, as we know, are not
Yeah.
so nice
Well,
when
they
they,
kind of, it's like get in, get out, right?
yeah,
And it seems like he just exudes like he seems to have this gratitude of or being grateful to be able to
unbelievable.
do that. Yeah. That's
Even with
fantastic.
Whose Line Is It Anyway was on the air and successful. He didn't think it was. So he still had his job at, I think it was Disneyland, being in the Beetlejuice show or something like that
Oh my God.
because he wanted the insurance.
Yes. Well, you
Yeah.
know what? Because you're a TV professional. I'm looking at my lighting here.
You're blue. Now
Yeah.
you no, no, back it up. There. Now
This
you're warm.
one?
No, no. Next. No. There. Oh,
There. Okay, good.
yeah, warm. There you go.
All
I
right.
have no choice. I'm in
I know
apartment
exactly.
gray.
But also too, so you
Yeah.
had done Lincoln. You had done the
Yes.
docu-series on Lincoln, or it was actually very much a dramatic series too. But also you just did Thomas Jefferson.
Yes.
So for you have your hands. You're not just one little lane here. Have several
We're
lanes.
agnostic, which is unusual. But we're out of Philadelphia. We're not out of New York or LA, which is the ribbons. So I think we had to think a little bit differently. I mean, also, I had to speak at a commencement and I followed Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Yes. Hmm.
genius
He knows
astrophysicist.
everything about
Yes.
space.
And I said, I'm following a man who ponders the questions of the universe, and I'm somebody who produced My Dog Ate What? So, yes, we've done everything from the history of the papacy, which was so exciting, and
Yep.
Lincoln and Jefferson as docuseries, to My Dog Ate What? And Pink
And Parent
and,
Wars. I mean,
and
it's
Parent Wars. Yes,
well,
that's a
but
good
I
show
think
of
does that
parents
make it more
fathering.
interesting for you though, too? I mean, to
It
be
does. It's fun. It's fun. The people I work with are really, really fun. They're
yes.
I always say that I call them embryos. I'm like, hi, embryos. I mean, come on. They're so young. People are young.
I know. Well, so with Thomas Jefferson, why would you seem to like doing the presidents or these big,
Yeah.
huge figures in history? Is there
Yes.
someone next for you that you would like to profile? I guess
Well, it's interesting. The market for that is not as it's not as robust as it was. People aren't
Really.
as interested, and we've got some great stuff. But people, everything shifts. Now
Yep.
people are looking for dating formats. That's why it's so interesting. And and our parent wars, that was really parents clobbering each other in clips because people love these clip shows. So
Yeah,
everything is constantly shifting, and you just have to think that way. And as I said, the embryos I work with, they think.
they think. But
Yeah.
how great that they're learning from you,
Well, they
because
learn from each other. It's really Stacey,
it
this
is a team.
the
But
team is unbelievable. There's I mean, we go up to 150 people, but the 65 main staff, they're just consistently good. They're
wow,
consistently creative because we really think there's no mistakes. It's just a learning experience. So if you have an idea, go for it.
go
Let's
for
see
it.
what we can do. And we do. We've actually just bought we just bought a YouTube crime channel and
Oh,
populating that because do you know people watch more YouTube than any other outlet?
that's incredible. And obviously,
Yep.
we're going to be on YouTube too. But
Right.
that's where everybody is getting, that's where they're getting it. So
Everything.
no, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about that? That everything's changing, because like for me, I came up, it was in late 80s I got started and then in the 90s and everything. So that's what I know. But how do you feel about where all of television and how we're getting our entertainment is a changing?
Well, my feelings don't matter because I have
Yeah.
no power over this. And I started in the 70s. When I started, there was no cable. And so things are changing rapidly. And the thing is to look forward,
Yeah.
to figure out how we can fit in. We have one of our people is developing new software, AI software that we can use in our business.
Yeah.
So again, you just have to go with it. And
Yeah.
it's hard keeping
Don't
up
fight
because
it,
everything's
right?
moving so fast. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Exactly. I know because I have a problem with AI. So, but I just, it's going to be passing me by.
Yes, so we have to embrace.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like my parents wouldn't give up their flip phone.
That's right.
Like,
Although I think those came back somewhat. I don't know.
really? I would
Well,
be like, those
I
boys took
noticed
a
some
picture
people
of
have some
something.
kind of a flip
Oh,
phone, or
yeah,
maybe
that's
this.
true. That's a little, but that's a little
Yeah,
different. Absolutely. And
I
it's
miss
funny.
them
Also, the other thing was it used to be considered so weird that I was in Philadelphia. Like,
instead of,
it's so weird. You're in Arizona. I'm in Pennsylvania. And people used to call me and say, networks would say, "What time is it where you are?" And I'd say, "It's 1982. What do you think it is?" And now it's considered, oh, that's so smart. You're not in one of the big cities. Well,
yeah,
one reason we're not is so people can have a life. It's
exactly.
affordable, and I can hire people who bring their whole family and really like being there.
Yeah. Well, and what I said earlier about, people learning from you, and yes, it's about a team, but I've got another quote for you, that Nancy Glass demonstrates the power of reinvention through creative risk taking and leadership. I mean, that really is. I mean, it all stems from the top, right? So,
I don't know. I don't know. I would hate to take if it's so funny. I always say to my staff, I always say to them, we really need to feel the joy because we certainly feel the pain. I certainly take the blame when things go wrong, but I'm not sure I actually feel all the joy yet. One day I will.
one day.
Nursing.
Yeah.
The
Well,
funny thing
because
is,
you look back and you think of all of what you have produced, and at some point you'll take a step and, a moment and tap yourself on the back, I would
no, that's
think.
not going to happen. But I do like the way things have changed, where there were never girls in the business, there were never women. It was so crazy when you think about it. And I remember the first time, I mean, it was so sexist. So, an executive put his hand on my knee. I burst out laughing. And I said,
That's
"Are you
real.
sexually harassing me? I'm so flattered."
Wow. Good for you.
Well, that
Oh,
ended that. Well, I mean, but Stacey, you know something about me that I guess you wouldn't know, and that is I'm tall. So I usually intimidated people out of my way in terms of
yeah. But
somebody
that's great. So
harassing me.
you just never had I think you just had the confidence from day one, really. I mean,
Oh,
it's
I just would. It's really about determination.
yeah.
I would never say I was. I always say self-loathing is my greatest quality. Oh my God, confidence? Who's got that?
Right.
It's like it's so funny because I
It's
was
what
with a bunch of
fuels
my
you. Yeah.
Well, I was with a bunch of my girlfriends and they were talking about, oh, my parents told me I could do anything. And oh my, and my mother would say to me, yeah, clean up the world tomorrow. Today, just clean up your room. I mean, when
We
I
love
was
your mom.
yeah. When I started on the air, I was so bad. My parents asked me to change my name. I mean, I did not come from one of those families who they're like,
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
greatest. They were like, who the heck are you and what are you trying to do?
That is so funny.
You
I know
know?
I came when I was born, I was redhead and freckles, my mom said, and she's like, Doctor, can you take her back? So I'm
Ah,
like,
what?
what? Yeah,
I'm
I
the
know.
mother of a redhead. I love redheads.
I
Of course,
know. That's Skylar, right?
no, that's Max.
Max
He's a
Skylar's.
redhead, and he would say to me, "Where'd I get the red hair from?" And I'd say microwave cooking because I don't. There are no other redheads in my family. So,
So
and then I
funny.
had another joke. I would say, "Well, the mailman had red hair, but he stuttered, and you don't stutter." But Max didn't like that joke at
No, it's what a fun mom you must have been. But so, okay, you mentioned about when the first
yeah,
time you were on television,
yeah.
and your parents to change your name. Um,
It was terrible.
this is kind of we're on the cusp of a milestone here because in addition to being okay, I'm just going to brag about you some more.
Oh,
First woman to be
don't.
the solo host of a nationally syndicated news show,
Ay,
the
ay,
first person in
ay.
syndication to be nominated for a national news Emmy, and the first person in cable to be nominated for an Emmy for best daytime talk show. And you were one of the first national talk show hosts hosted by two women.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just awesome.
Isn't that
But
crazy?
and I remember so the show Attitudes on
And
Lifetime. So it was 40 years this year that you guys started developing this show, which is wild because you were what, 10? No.
yeah, something like that. Here's the thing. You know what you're telling me? And this is the horrifying part. I was pregnant with Max. He's going to be 40? Are you
Wow.
kidding me? I'm not letting that happen. See, I always say I never lie about my age. I lie about my kids' ages. But no, I'm only kidding.
Wow.
I
But
don't
do,
do that.
do you ever think back on that and because you and Linda Dano co-hosting,
No.
I mean, this was it was so impactful that even Saturday Night Live had to have poke a little fun with it. But
They did.
what
That
is
was fun. No, I
yeah.
never do. It's so weird, but I think for me, this is so I have a lot of friends who are on the air and no longer, and they live in that past. And I think I don't want to live in the past. I want to dream of the future. I feel bad because then, like, I have a friend who's like, well, if only I did this or I could be that. And I don't want to be that person. I
Yeah.
want to work. I
Yep.
want to do what I do. But that was a lovely experience. It was a
Yeah. I mean,
lovely,
you guys
fun experience,
you
but I
had
don't
so
think
much fun,
about
but
it at
it really
all.
did set I really think that it was
It was really
maybe
something. It got a lot of attention. When we were nominated for Best Daytime Talk Show Host, I thought, well, every other nominee has to die or explode for us to win. And that never happened.
no.
And then when I was nominated for Best Coverage of a Breaking News Story, it was against Bob Simon from 60 Minutes,
60
who
minutes.
was
Yeah.
kidnapped. You think
Wow.
I'm going to win against somebody who's kidnapped?
Yeah. But
Yeah, my
hey,
boss offered to kill me, but
you were in the mix.
in the mix.
It was
And that's
fantastic.
fun.
But
That's
maybe for the official 40th anniversary, we can have you and Linda back on, and then I'll let you two do all the talking, and I'll just
That'll be fun. That would be fun.
yeah, that would
Wait,
be
can I
so
tell you
great.
something else? So our Lincoln documentary got
Yes.
nominated for an Emmy for, and I get the news first, right? And it's nominated for an Emmy for lighting. So I call my executive producer and I go, I want to say congratulations. I want to say this is good news.
News,
And
yes.
guess who we lost to? A
Oh,
show that was shot outside. We lost to the sun.
oh,
We lost to God.
oh my God, that's not fair.
No,
That's
it's
natural
wrong.
lighting. That doesn't count.
It shouldn't, and yet
No.
it did.
You know when you because this is what's incredible is that I
Yeah.
don't know if you have a holy grail type of show that you would like to do or project, because when you think about you've done some amazing, I mean, you can't get much higher than the Pope, but
That
um,
was so interesting.
yeah, I know. And so since then, do you follow all the Pope news? You know what I mean? And do you feel like you're
No, but
immersed?
I have to say, I learned, I mean, what's really fun about doing those shows is it's like you're back to school in the most fun way possible. Like
Yeah.
everybody involved reads about the topic, and then we get together and we kind of debate it. Lincoln started because my husband wrote a book called The Last Lincolns. You know my husband, he's the
Yes.
executive producer of Inside Edition. Charles
Yes. He was my
Lockman.
boss for 12 years. Yeah. At two different times.
And now he's my boss. No. No, he's fantastic. So, um, I I wanted to. He inspired me, and I went into CNN and I told the story, and that got us the documentary. But the story was, it's a question for you. Was Mary Lincoln crazy? Was she?
No, I don't think so. And of course, I watched the documentary, but it's been a few,
Oh,
couple of
so
years
you
since
know.
well, but so I personally, I think they probably, it's that whole like women are hysterical kind of argument
Yes.
or whatever. But she was probably just someone who is very, comfortable in her own skin, but they didn't like that, right? I don't know.
Well, that was part of it, but
Yeah.
the story I told, and I'll probably get it wrong since I read the book so long ago now, but Mary Lincoln is in her hotel room in Chicago, and there's a knock on a door. It's somebody who she knew very well, a lawyer, and he says, "Mary, you're under arrest. You're under arrest, and you're going to trial right now on a charge of insanity." And she can't believe it. I mean, what? She goes to right into a courtroom where a jury's been seated, guaranteed to convict her. A
Yeah.
judge guaranteed to convict her, who is friends with the person who inspired the warrant and the charges against her, her son, Robert.
Oh, right, right.
He
I forgot about
wanted
that. Yeah.
her out of the way because she was embarrassing. She was a shopaholic. She was a big mouth. She felt she wasn't given enough due after her husband was assassinated. She lost three of her children
Yeah.
before they became, adults. And so that was her story, and that led us to the documentary. Anyway, I have no idea how I got off on that, but what I was saying is, Holy Grail. No, every time we put something together, I really, really, really want to produce it. But if that doesn't happen, then I have to move on to the next.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can't hold on, right? You can't,
Right.
no regrets or whatever. You just have to like,
Right.
it wasn't meant to be at that moment, I
At
think.
that
Yeah.
moment, sometimes though, when somebody else gets to do it, it annoys me, but I have to just move on. But what I
Yeah.
love is having to learn about these topics,
Yeah.
having to learn about Jefferson, having to learn about the Pope.
Yeah.
The church invented diplomacy. The Borgias invented diplomacy. They invented banking. They also started the Crusades, the first
Yeah.
wars based on religion. So it's all very, very interesting, and it makes every day interesting.
Yeah. And especially in a time when I don't think people are really don't understand history. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother podcast.
Oh,
So for you, looking here, we are 25 years for
yeah.
Glass Entertainment Group. Um, what would you say to somebody who wants to start a business, whether it be in television or because for you, you were this, I mean, you were hosting television shows and you did the most amazing Dahmer, you did this amazing which came back years later
Yeah,
into a
weird, huh?
special. Yeah, but I mean there were so many things that you did on camera, but then you're like, no, I want to keep producing my own
Yeah, I don't want to be
stuff.
on camera. So
You,
what's funny there, because you know me and I'm always joking around. So the big thing that my development people used to tell people was, guess who Nancy interviewed over and over again? Answer, Jeffrey Dahmer. So,
but you
so
had it, so but
right.
it
So
yeah.
they wanted so Oxygen wanted to do a special, and they were like, "You're going to host it." And I was like, "No, I'm not. no. And they were like, no, you're going to do it. So I said, okay, then you know what? I'm going to do this realistically. If I have to be on, I'll be on it for maybe 10 seconds. I don't want to be filtered. I don't want any special lighting. I want to look like me. Stacey, don't ever say that. It's the dumbest thing you could say. When I saw what I looked like, I was like, what was I thinking? Where's my filter? Where's my
Right.
lighting?
No,
So
I know. I kind of I get that. It's sort of like I want to stay active in the business, but I don't have this desire necessarily to stay in front of the camera, or
I think if you do,
I
you
can
have to
swipe
put,
filter.
right.
So,
Well, the thing is, for people on the air, for the majority, not for everybody, it's ego before intellect. I always felt more satisfaction making other people look good.
yeah.
That's why I walked away from it because I was like, this is just, it's more fun. It's like every show is like having a new kid.
Yep.
And when you make that kid successful, it's really fun.
Yeah.
My daughter, Sloan, now works with me, and that's really
Sloan, sorry, did I say Skylar? Yeah, sorry.
okay.
Sloan.
It's a
Yeah.
pretty name.
Sloan. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's fantastic. And so then this is something you're going to carry on the glass name in the
I
business
think
through your daughter, perhaps. Yeah.
if she wants to. I mean, for 10 years, she worked for other people. She worked for QVC. She was a national correspondent for News Nation. Hosted talk shows. I mean, she did a lot of stuff, which was
Yes.
important, I
It
think.
was in her DNA.
So, yeah, I think so. She
Yeah.
said that she used to have to pitch dinner. I was like, no, you didn't. Stop telling people that.
Oh my God, you're hilarious. So what tips would you give for people
Oh,
who the transitioning or reinventing, or what is it that you want people to keep in mind through your own example?
well, I always, always say this, and I don't know if it still applies, but I always say when someone tells you no, find someone else. If you
Oh,
really want to do it, it doesn't matter what it is. If you love it and you're willing, so much of it is really just about the energy you put into it, you know,
yeah,
uh, and a little bit of luck. I would rather be lucky than brilliant because luck really helps. But, just go for it. Try and talk to other people who do what you want to do. Go work in a business like the business you want to be in. I have to tell you, I did not know how to start a business when I started it. And I probably would have been more successful earlier if I knew a little bit about running a business. But now I know after
yeah.
25 years.
And I would say you're doing just fine too. But your proudest production?
My kids.
Oh, yeah. I know. I know. That's probably a better answer. I was thinking maybe you're gonna say like a TV, one of the TV shows or something,
No,
but yeah.
oh,
But
no. Again, the team, the group, I feel like something that I really look forward to the day that I can walk out the door and say to the people who I work with every day, this is yours. You take
oh,
it.
so the R word eventually, because I sometimes I think like I don't think you'd ever retire.
No,
The
but I would
R,
do something different.
yeah.
I would
Okay.
I'm always want to do something different.
Yep. Yep. And
And
again,
that-
it's all part of that
But is
reinvention.
that crazy? Is that
No,
crazy? Should I want to retire at some point?
I don't know. I mean, like my husband's a professional at being retired. He loves it, but there's some people that just don't, that's just not going to
But
be in
I'm sure he
there.
does interesting things in retirement, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. But I think, I don't know. I think it's like, I think we just like that feeling of being involved in something, I think
Yes.
that's the true
Right.
key. But the TV burnout too, like you've
It's hard.
experienced that, but you're not feeling that now, right?
Well, it's
Or you've
really
never
hard.
really had
No, it's
burnout.
all rejection. I mean, every single day. You
Yeah.
know, you go out with ideas and networks go, no. It's why we started the podcast company. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how they come up with crazy reasons why not. So
Yeah.
that gets a little disheartening. But again, the team, we have so much fun. We laugh so hard and we just encourage each other. So burnout a little, yeah, but I think in any career there's burnout, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. I think, well, it just the ability to maybe take a step back every once in a while too, and be able to come back fresh, I suppose, if there is. But you're having too much fun.
I am having a lot of fun. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the key. But so for you, yes, so you'll just keep no matter what, like right now with the business and everything, you just kind of like you said, you meet it head on and you just find a way around it, right?
Well,
That's
we just, as I said, we just bought a YouTube crime channel.
yep,
So we're going that way. We're looking for all the new ways to go that are exciting.
fantastic. Hey, I might have an idea for a podcast for you.
Okay.
All right.
Not a
So
problem. I'm
just
open to all ideas. I listen to everything because you don't know.
you don't know. Yep. And sometimes the guys in the or people in the, you know, at these companies, they don't know either. But
Well,
you
let me tell you, I'll tell you a story about a documentary I did that ended up to be a huge success. A jeweler I knew said, "You got to meet my friend. He's an explorer." And I said, "What is he, 8? Who's an explorer?" Turned out he was. And
oh
he
my
wanted to
God.
traverse the driest, harshest, windiest, coldest environment on Earth, Antarctica. He wanted to be the first to do it. So I financed it. It became a huge success. And we had never done adventure before, and it put us in the adventure category.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
see?
One of yes, and that's what's great is you have a what did they call it? You have a very diversified portfolio,
Yes,
which
that's
is
what we tried to
fabulous.
do.
So
Yeah.
well, this is fantastic. I thank you so much,
Thank you,
Nancy, for
Stacey. And this is what I
like
have to do to see you. Thanks a lot.
I know. Well, you know what?
But
Next time I'm on your coast, I'm gonna find you, track you
good.
down.
Good.
That
You
would be so
should.
great. I know.
All
I'm trying
right.
to think if I'm going to be in Philadelphia at all, but you're
But
the
I'm
first
in New
person.
York
Oh,
too.
in New York, New York. So
Yeah.
yes, I'll have to come visit all the Inside Edition folks too. So,
You
but you
should.
are a glass act. That's my little joke.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Actually, and your husband said that to me
He
many
did?
years ago. He told me I was a class act, and I
Oh,
always
that's
remember that.
nice.
So,
That's nice. And my
yeah.
husband does not compliment people.
Oh, well,
He
yeah,
hates it.
that just has stuck with me for oh
What
goodness,
a
almost
lovely thing to say. My
yeah.
husband, who is my boyfriend, he's the greatest. He does not like carbon-based life forms.
Oh my God.
All
All
right.
right. Well, we'll talk after.
We'll talk after. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
great. So, well, to learn more about Nancy Glass and Glass Entertainment Group and all of her wonderful projects, just visit thewomenseye.com. And while you're on the site, check out our books, 20 Women Change Makers. Go wherever you buy books and changemakersbooks.com, and 20 Women Storytellers. Nancy knows a thing or two about storytelling at womenstorytellersbook.com. You'll also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and our YouTube channel. YouTube, as Nancy said, is where to go. Don't be shy. Just let us know your comments, questions, likes, dislikes. We'd just love to hear from you. Nancy, again, thank you. We'll be listening and watching all of your shows, hours
Thank
and
you,
hours.
Stacey.
Appreciate you joining us today and the Women's Eye podcast. I'm Stacey Gualandi. Remember, it's the world as we see it.